Welcome to Taittiriya Upanishad study and discussion. We are in chapter 1, the Sikshavali, which explains the science of Vedic chanting. This chapter also called Samhita Upanishad. Today we will go through Anuvaka 4, which explains the Upasana on Medha, the sharp intellect and memory, and Shri, the wealth and prosperity. So in the next slide, we have mentioned the references used for preparation of this material. In some slides, the reference materials are presented as it is to keep the meaning as it is. Now, the choices of questions for discussion. 1. What does the teacher's prayer convey in this Anuvaka 4? 2. Why is the teacher praying for Medha, sharp intellect and memory, and Shri, wealth and prosperity? 3. Are these hierarchy of needs important and necessary for spiritual evolution? What are your thoughts about this? Now, we will go through the summary of last 2 sessions. The practices, karma, upasana, and jnana are 3 fundamental paths or disciplines described in the Vedas. Each path represents a different approach to spiritual growth and liberation, the moksha. This chapter, Sikshavali, focuses on karma and upasana. So, after the Shanti mantra, the Upanishad explains the rules for correct pronunciation, intonation, and recitation of the Vedic mantras. Then it stresses the importance of samhita, the conjunctions in a word. Verses 3 to 11 explain the upasanas on various aspects or objects. As we learn, upasana is meditating on an object either visible or invisible. It is the superimposition of God on a personal deity or contemplation on a Vedic symbol like Om, fire, sun, prana, etc. Here in Anuvaka 3, the Maha Samhita Upasana, the great conjunctions, explains the meditation on the subtle connections between 2 things that are joined, viewing the first element as the first form, the Purva Rupa, the second as the later form, the Uttara Rupa, the connecting link between them as the junction, the Sandhi, the Samhita, and the result of that connection is Sandhana. Here, with the Maha Samhita, the Rishi is explaining to the Vedic students the underlying unity and interrelationships in the universe. Thus, the contemplation on great Samhita of the phenomenal existence, starting from macrocosm to microcosm, from the worlds like various lokas, the luminaries, the sun, moon, etc., the education, the field of knowledge, the generation, and then speech, that is various parts of the body, are all explained in the Mahasamhita Upasana. These upasanas not only give the fruit of that upasana, it helps in spiritual evolution of the seeker, whose thoughts are entangled in the domestic and religious rituals. The knowledge of the connecting link of all dualities of the manifest world taught here lays the foundation in preparing the mind and intellect for meditation and to go beyond intellect in order to realize Brahman, the ultimate reality. Now, we will go through the prelude for today's Anuvaka 4. This verse explains the requisites for spiritual learning and upasana on them. It focuses on the spiritual and material requisites essential in the spiritual journey for the effective learning and transmission of knowledge of Brahman, the Brahma Vidya. The teacher prays for blessings that ensure the continuity and success of the Vedic tradition known as Guru Parampara. So, the prayer seeks both intellectual and material well-being recognizing them as a crucial for a stable life dedicated to the study of Brahman, the ultimate reality. So, the upasanas explained in this verse in 3 mantras. 1. The Meda Shakti. Meda is a sharp intellect and memory to enable the teacher to hold firmly to the immortal, the eternal truth of the Vedas without error. 2. The Guru's mission of inflow of more disciplined students. The teacher prays that seekers of students of Brahman will come from all sides to practice with self-control, to maintain a peaceful environment, to ensure the longevity to the tradition, the Guru Parampara. 3. Shri. Shri is wealth and prosperity. It is a prayer for material provisions like food, clothing, and cows to host and sustain the community of students. This wealth is sought not for luxury, but for stable and effective life required for uninterrupted study. With this, I'll hand over to Ranjini to add and take us to the verses.
Thank you, Val.
Thank you.
So we are starting the fourth Anuvaka, and we'll finish it. There are only 3 mantras. And, as Val teed up in the introduction, these are mantras or invocations by a guru for the kind of students and the kind of the Guru Parampara or the lineage that he prays for. Okay, so let's start with the first one. And, I am going to read it out and we're going to translate it word by word and then understand the meaning. But what I would encourage you to do is, if I can, I'll send a link. Listen to it being chanted. There's a particular intonation for the chanting of the Yajurveda, and it really sounds very, very musical and beautiful, and you will understand the cadence, like how is this supposed to be chanted. Okay, so for today's purposes, I'm just going to read this out. So let me read out the first one. Yah chandasam rishabah vishwarupah chandobhya adhi amritat sambabhuva Sahama Indra Medhaya Shprinotu Amritasya Deva Dharana Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishruvam Brahmana Kosha Asi Medhaya Pehitaha Shrutam Me Gopaya. So let's take the word by word translation. Yah, who, Chandasham, of the sacred hymn, Rishabha, the most excellent. Rishab is bull, a symbol of strength and excellence. Rishabha, the most excellent in this context. Vishwarupaha, the one who appears in various forms. Amritat, from the immortal. Chandobhya, from these hymns of the Vedas. Adhi, above and over. Sambabhuva, arose from that. Saha, that Indraha. Indra, ma, me, medhaya. Medhaya is mental power, intelligence. Shprinotu, gladden or invigorate. He who is preeminent in the hymns of the Vedas, whose form is manifold, and who has sprung up in all splendor from the sacred hymns, may he, the Supreme Lord, cheer me with intellectual vigor, or bless me with intellectual vigor. Hey, Deva, Amritasya, of immortality, Dharanaha, possessor, Bhuyasam, may I become, Me Shariram, my body, Vicharshanam, able and active. It means, O Lord, may I be the possessor of the immortal revelation. May I be able and active in body. Jihva Madhumattama. Jihva is the tongue. Madhumattama is possessing sweetness and agreeable to most. Cha is and. Bhuyat, maybe. Karnabhyam, with the ears. Bhuri Vishruvam, abundantly may I listen and learn. May my speech be sweet and agreeable to the utmost, and may I, with my ears, listen abundantly so that I may learn. That's the qualifier. Medhaya, by intelligence, pihitaha, covered, brahmanaha, of the Supreme Being, koshaha, the sheath or the cover, asi, thou art, me shrutam gopaya, let this learning be mine. Okay? It says, thou art the sheath of Brahman. May you preserve my learning. So let's look at what this prayer is about. I'm going to read it one more time, just the meaning, all of it together. He who is preeminent in the hymns of the Vedas. So who is this he they're talking about? He calls him Indra. It refers to the Brahman. He who is preeminent in the hymns of the Vedas, whose form is manifold, and who has sprung up in all splendor from the sacred hymns, may he, the Supreme Lord, cheer me with intellectual vigor. O Lord, may I be the possessor of the immortal revelation, the Brahmagyan. May I be able and active in body. May my speech be sweet and agreeable to the utmost, and may I with my ears listen abundantly. Thou art the sheath of Brahman. May you preserve my learning. Okay, so what is this a prayer for? For internal power and wisdom. So the prayer asks for a sharp mind and memory, for studying as well as for teaching. It calls this power the bull of the Vedas, Rishabha. It also asks for the ability to hold firmly onto that which has been learned, like holding on to a precious and everlasting gem. And then it asks for an able body. To be a successful student and teacher, the physical health is important, right? So the prayer says, health and vigor, may my body be strong and capable. Give me the power of communication. May my tongue be exceedingly eloquent. A sweet tongue means clear, pleasing, effective, both for teaching as well as chanting. You know, some of the best orators and the best chanters have a way of drawing you in with their speech and with their chanting. That is the power of the sweetness of speech. Good listening, may I hear abundantly with my ears. So, only if my body is strong, if I am able, will I be able to take in through my ears all the knowledge that there is to learn. May I be able to communicate in a way that is received well by the others. May my tongue be sweet. May my speech be sweet. Such an individual is then fit to pursue the ritual for wealth, which the next mantra will describe. So in this japa, I just wanted to draw attention to two things. You invoke Indra. Sama Indra Medhaya Shprunotu. So Sri Shankaracharya in his Bhashya interprets rightly that Indra here means Omkara, the sound and the symbol of Om. Indra is derived from a root meaning to illuminate. The Om symbol indicating the conscious principle in man is the illuminator of all faculties in him, including his own intellect. The mantra, as it reads, is an invocation to Omkar for a clearer consciousness of or awareness in the student. Okay? So what Shankara does is, initially you're caught by the fact that the appeal is to Indra. And Shankara in his Bhashya equates that Indra to Om, which is the symbol of that divine consciousness or that divine principle that the Upanishads refer to as Brahman. And if you remember, Om from the Mandukya Upanishad is also the states of consciousness in man, as well as in the macrocosm, right? So what are you praying for here? For a clarity and for that consciousness to be clear. Om is also the sheath of the Brahman, and therefore invoking Om is invoking the Supreme, says Swami Chinmayananda. So that's the commentary on this one. Let's go to the next Anuvaka. The next Anuvaka now prays for more students. Avahanti vitinvana, kuruvana achiram atmanah, vasangamsi mama gavacha, annapane cha sarvada, tathame shriyam avaha, Loma Sham Pashubhi Sahaswaha Amayantu Brahmacharina Swaha Vimaayantu Brahmacharina Swaha Pramayantu Brahmacharina Swaha Damayantu Brahmacharina Swaha Shamayantu Brahmacharina Swaha. So let's just talk about the Swaha. The Swaha is the final and the sacred seal of the mantra. It is used in multiple contexts. It empowers and dedicates the act to the divine that's being addressed. It says, here is my offering. It is also interpreted as, bestow me with that gift. This is my offering. Bestow me with that which I seek, which I pray for. So let's look at it from a word by word. Avahanti, bringing. Vitanvana, multiplying. Kurvana, producing. Achiram, without any delay. Atmanaha, to this self. Vasamshi, clothes. Mama, to me. Sarvada, for all the time. Give it to me all the time. Gavaha, cows. Annapane, food and drink. Sarvada, for all the time. Give me all these all the time. Cows, clothes. Tataha, then. After this, for me, Shriyam, prosperity. Avaha, brings. Pashubhisaha, along with these cattle. Lomamscha, woolly animals or animals with vitality. Avaha, bring. Aha, all along. May. Yantu, come. Brahmacharinaha. Brahmacharin, it's a celibate students, but brahmacharis are those students who have come with a commitment to learn, capable of self-restraint. So brahmachari, try and understand the word as somebody with a lot of focus, concentration, and self-restraint, which is what you expect of the students in a Gurukula, or at least the Guru prays for that. Celibate students of Brahma Vidya. So it's not any student, it is those who go to seek the Brahma Gyan. We from different directions, ma ayantu, may they come to me from different directions. Pra ayantu, in large numbers may they come to me. Swahaha, this prayer I offer to you. Accept my prayer, bestow this on me. Okay? So the meaning is, O Lord, after having endowed me with the intelligence and fitness that you prayed for in the previous mantra, may fortune produce for me without delay and for all time, bringing ceaselessly and in increasing measure clothes, cattle, food, and drink. May prosperity confer on me woolly animals along with cattle. All through, may celibate students or brahmacharis seeking the Brahma Vidya come to me. May they come to me from far off and from different directions in large numbers. May they be self-controlled and calm. Swahaha, accept my prayer, bestow this upon me. Very interesting. So now it goes from clarity of intellect, fitness of body, to now apparently seeking material wealth, right? And this should catch you because in none of the Upanishads so far have we been told that any of this is a prerequisite, right? But here is a guru praying for this. Let's try and decode that. So this is about propagating knowledge, safeguarding it, and attracting students because it's a guru who's trying to build this guru parampara. It's a guru who's trying to attract more people for him to share this Brahma Vidya. This teacher's wish for running a successful and sustainable school for spiritual knowledge. He says, grant me success and plenty, wealth, food, clothes, cattle, so I can always take care of myself and my students. Send me lots of them. Let them come to me constantly like water flowing downhill. And make sure they're good students. May they be focused, disciplined, and peaceful so we can all learn and thrive together. But let's understand this. This is not any of us praying for wealth and cattle and all of that. The pre-qualifications for wealth are full discrimination, good health, the spirit of tolerance, and an irresistible impatience to serve others. Without these, wealth becomes a dangerous weapon as a loaded pistol in the hands of an innocent child. Okay, this is from Swami Guru Bhaktananda. So this invocation to the Lord to say, bless me with all this food and drink, prosperity. He said, bless me with all that, that I may always have enough to take care of. And that's the context that's not included in this. But if you understand the social context of the time, this is in the context of a Gurukula. This is a guru praying. This is a guru whose consciousness is so evolved that from miles around, the kingdoms send their princes to them. Ordinary children come to them to be schooled. This is not any guru. And remember, when the children come to a guru, the guru takes complete care of them, right? Until the period of their education is over, the guru takes care of them. He feeds them. He teaches them. He cares for them. How is he going to do that without the means to do it? So the context in a guru is not a selfish prayer saying, make me, give me all this, but it is give me all this such that and he says, send me these students. You have given me this gift of knowledge. Let me share it. Give me the means to share it. It's not enough if I want to share it. I need to have the means for it. And then one other thing I wanted to, it may have caught you. This prayer says, Pashubhi saha lomascha, along with cattle, woolly animals. So I started looking that up and I said, woolly animals you can interpret as sheep, because as a measure, a metric of wealth in those days was cattle and sheep. And then I found Shankara Bhashya again says loma, or the hair, is a symbol of vital growth. So lomascha pashubhihi is to desire the hairy creature, is to seek the fullness of life. He's praying for the vitality in the cattle that are given. So, you can get, cattle that don't produce milk, which is of no use to a guru with a gurukula full of students. So lomascha can be interpreted either as sheep, cows and sheep, or it could also be interpreted according to Shankara as a symbol of the vitality in the cattle that the guru seeks or prays for. Then let's look at the last one. Here he says, Yasho Janeshani Swahaha Sheyan Vasyasaha Asani Swahaha Tam Twa Bhaga Pravishani Swahaha Sahama Bhaga Pravishah Swahaha Tasmin Sahasra Shakhe Nibhaga Aham Twayi Mrije Swahaha Yatha Apaha Pravatayanti Yatha Masha Aharjaram Evam Mam Brahmacharinaha Dhata Ayantu Sarvataswahaha Prativesha Asima Prabhahi Ma Prapatya Swahaha. Okay. So, Jane, among people, Yasha, renown, Asani, may I attain, Swahaha, this is my appeal. I'm sorry, here's the meaning. May I become renowned among people, Swahaha, my prayer to you, bestow this on me. Vashayah, superior, Shreyan, wealthy, Ashani, may I become, Bhaga, okay, may I be superior among the wealthy. This is my appeal, Swahaha. Bhaga, gracious Lord, Tam, that, Twa, you, Pravishani, may I enter into you, Swahaha. Bhaga, Saha, gracious Lord, you, Ma, Pravisha, enter into me, Swahaha. Bhaga, gracious Lord, Tasmin Sahasra Shakhe, you who have 1,000 branches, Twayi, in thee, Aham, I, Nimrije, I cleanse myself. O gracious Lord, may I enter into thee. May thou, O gracious Lord, enter into me. In that self of thine with 1,000 branches, O Lord, may I cleanse myself of all sin. Swaha. Dhataha, O creator and arranger, yatha, as apaha, water, pravata, downwards yanti, courses, yatha, as masaha, months, aharjaram, become aharjaram yanti, mingle into the year. Evam, similarly, mama, brahmacharinaha, celibate students or brahmacharis, sarvataha, from everywhere, ayantu, come and join, swahaha, prativeshaha, refuge, asi, thou art, me prabhahi, illuminate me, let me possess that, prapadyaswa. So, may I become renowned among people, swahaha. May I be superior among the wealthy, swahaha. O gracious Lord, may I enter into thee, swahaha. May thou, O gracious Lord, enter into me, swahaha. In that self of thine with 1,000 branches, O Lord, may I cleanse myself of all sins, swahaha. As water flows downwards, as months mingle with the year, so creator and arranger of all, may brahmacharis come to me from all sides, swahaha. Thou art the refuge near at hand. Illuminate me, take possession of me. So if you just look at the first part of it, this can be the prayer of a lot of people today, right? Seeking fame. May I be the first among the wealthy. May I be renowned among people, right? Everybody should know me. Even among the wealthy, I need to be superior. Until you get to the second part. And it says, O gracious Lord, come into me. Let me become a part of you. Let me merge into you. You who have 1,000 branches, let me merge into you and cleanse myself of my sins. Just as the water flows downwards, as the months merge into a year, so may all these brahmacharis come and become a part of my knowledge. He says, illuminate me. You take possession of me. Use me as a tool. Okay? So it asks for two things, a great life and spiritual connection. The teacher prays to be famous and respected by everyone and to be more successful than the rich people. This isn't asking for material wealth. It's asking for the kind of status and reputation that comes from being a great wise teacher. Now remember, for the guru, for somebody to send their child to a gurukula, the guru has to be renowned, right? The guru can be the most, the wisest, the most learned, but if nobody knows about them, nobody's going to send them, right? So there is something about being renowned, getting your name out there to project what you know how to do so that other people can come to you. You can attract the kind of students that you wish. If you want to leave a legacy, as this Gurukula or the teacher does, he has to be known. And then the ultimate connection, he says, he aims for the highest spiritual goal and he says, I want to become one with you, God, and you enter into me. Let me come into you. You come into me. Use me as your tool. He wants this divine power to flow into them and for them to enter into it. This means the actual act of teaching and learning is the path to spiritual freedom, according to this. Okay? You think about the gurus, Adi Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, and in modern times, Swami Chinmayananda, Ramana Maharishi, Swami Vivekananda, right? People came to know about them. Only because people knew about them did people flock to them. Did they then avail themselves of being in their presence for having a glimpse into that consciousness, right? So that is why this guru is asking for seemingly material possessions, seemingly material things like recognition and wealth and success. But if you listen to the end, it says, use me as a tool, reveal to me the ultimate secret, give me the means to communicate this to everybody who needs to hear this. Dal, would you like to take us through these?
Sure, Ranjini. Thank you. So, what we learned in this Anuvaka, are they prerequisites necessary for the spiritual journey? So we thought it's explained with the Siddhartha Gautama's extreme asceticism. So Siddhartha Gautama, after leaving his luxurious palace and beginning his spiritual quest, spent 6 years practicing severe austerities, believing that enlightenment could only be achieved through the denial of the body. He engaged in extreme fasting and on the verge of collapse. Sujata, a young woman, found Gautama close to death and offered rice pudding. Siddhartha accepted the bowl of rice pudding with gratitude. As he ate, he got his strength back to his body. Then at that point, he realized that torturing his body had not brought him closer to the truth, and he resolved to take some food to regain the strength needed for a final decisive meditation. With a revitalized body and a balanced mind, he sat under the Bodhi tree and determined to find the true path through balanced meditation, and he achieved enlightenment and became Buddha, the awakened one. So then the Buddha decided to follow the middle path upon realizing that neither of the two extremes led to the cessation of suffering and enlightenment. So with this, the essence of the prayer in this Anuvaka 4 is the request for everything needed: wisdom, health, students, and prosperity to effectively live and share the highest spiritual truth. It confirms the ancient idea that to succeed spirituality, we need strong, stable foundation in our body, mind, and community. With this, I'll hand over to Ranjini.
Thank you, Val. I particularly like this graphic. It says for a human flourishing, you need health and well-being, purpose and meaning in your life, knowledge and wisdom, and you also need wealth and prosperity. So what Ashokan has done, as he always does, is he takes a lot of very complex concepts and consolidates them all into a way where we can start to see the relationships. Okay, so remember in the first Anuvaka or the previous Anuvaka, we talked about finding the relationships among seeming dualities or different concepts. And when you can start to see these relationships, you start to understand the principles of the universe. Okay, and I thought this chart was a beautiful example of that. So the seeker's journey, right? These 3 mantras, he's mapped it out. He says the first one is the phase of individual preparation, foundational stage focusing entirely on the internal state of the learner. It's about ensuring that the instrument of the mind and the body is finely tuned. So that was the first of the mantras. It lists the specific attributes prayed for: intellectual sharpness, physical vitality, clear communication, keen senses, and the ability to retain what's learned. Okay, so it asks for the Atma Samskara, inner readiness. What were the aspects of the Atma Samskara? Medha, a sharp intellect; Shariram, me vicharshanam, a vigorous body; Jihva me madhumattama, sweetness in the tongue; Karnabhyam bhuri vishruvam, sharp hearing; Shrutam me gopaya, protection of the learned knowledge. Purification and empowerment of the individual student, the Adhikari Sampati, is the goal of that first phrase of the prayer. Then the next prayer prays for environmental support. So once the individual is ready, the focus shifts to creating a stable environment, a conducive external environment, because learning can't thrive if there's a constant struggle for basic needs, right? I mean, even think about yourself. When you're hungry, you're only thinking about food. It doesn't matter what is being presented to you until those basic needs are met. Your ears aren't open, your mind isn't clear. So what is it that this segment asks for? Bahya samgraha, outer harmony. Shriyamavaha, sustained prosperity. Annapane cha sarvada, forever may I have food and drink. Vasamsi, clothing. Gavascha pasubihi, cattle and wealth. Kurvana chiratmanaha, that is without any delay. Grant me these. Material and environmental balance that supports higher pursuit. It says, cleanse me internally, give me what I need to succeed. And finally, community and purpose. Sangha Samvardhanaha. It highlights the desire for students who are not only numerous and diverse, but crucially possess the spiritual values of self-control. Dhamma and mental peace, Sama. Amayantu Brahmacharinaha. Let lots of students arrive. Vimayantu, from different directions. Pramayantu, many and excelling. Damayantu, with self-control. And then Shamayantu, with tranquility. It's only when you get these kind of students who are calm, who are controlled, who are eager to learn, that the Guru can actually impart his own knowledge. So the third aspect says, so the first aspect says, purify me. Second aspect, give me the means. Third aspect, send them to me. And these are the kinds of students I want, who have self-control, who are calm, who are eager to learn, who come seeking the Brahma Vidya. And final outcome is an integrated ecosystem, a holistic, thriving educational ecosystem, harmonizing the individual, environment, and community. And with this, you get the essence of the whole Guru Sishya Parampara and the Gurukula, how the Gurukulas flourished was when they had these three things, right? So you need a complete and self-sustaining ecosystem for spiritual and intellectual growth to happen. Physical well-being, wealth, material well-being, and then spiritual well-being for a Gurukula to thrive. He's also mapped this out. The phase 1, the individual preparation, everything that we talked about, the sharp and retentive intellect, vigorous body, sweet and truthful speech, sharp hearing, and protect that learning. Don't let it go away from me. When I learn something, let it stay with me. Environmental support, which we just talked about. And finally, invocation for a virtuous lineage. Students arriving from all directions, excellent in their ability for self-control and mental tranquility. So this is the seeker's journey, a guru's desire to impart his knowledge. Let's get back to the questions. So what does the teacher's prayer convey in this Anuvaka? Why is the teacher praying for Medha and Shri? Are these hierarchy of needs important or necessary for spiritual evolution? And what are your thoughts about this? With that, I will stop the recording and turn it over to the group for discussion.